Hi, my name's Adam, and I'm the developer of Hammer. And I thought I might try a new format, some videos to highlight exciting new features instead of just text-based change logs. So this is going to be kind of just off the cuff, um, no real production value here. So let's just get into it. I just released Hammer 3.3.0, and we're kind of at the long road, the end of a very long road here, which is for over 4 years now, I've been working on Hammer and slowly been chipping away at the roadmap. And we're pretty much at the end of the roadmap. All the ideas I had at the very beginning of Hammer are pretty much implemented at this point. And the my attention now is going to be on stabilizing things, polishing, fixing bugs, addressing community feedback, stuff like that. But there was one last feature I wanted to get in before I really finished up. And that was a feature that I saw years ago, probably 10 or 15 years ago now, in some little software that I used to write a short story, which was if you have a friend or family member, just someone, maybe you found someone on Reddit, and you want them to be able to help edit your story, uh, you're probably not going to a professional editor. Maybe you're early on in your writing journey. This is a really simple way to invite someone to be your editor and help you refine your story. So, as you can see here, I have a sync server set up, and this is my story. You can see in the client, I've got the same scenes right here. And what I can do now is I can request an editorial review. And so you'll see the status of any open editorial reviews you have sent. But what we're going to do is open a new one. So let's see, we're going to invite test@test.com. They're my friend. Hey, is this any good? Um, And you can put notes in here like things you want them to focus on. Maybe you're bad at punctuation, or maybe you're not sure if the tone of these scenes are right. So you can tell them sort of what to focus on here. You can set the link to expire. I strongly recommend you have some expiration set, but you can set it to never if you really want to. And then you come down here and select the scenes that you want them to review. And then you hit send request. Now, if your sync server has email set up, then an email will just be sent. But this is just on my development box, so I just get a unique URL. One thing to note, the first thing this does is it creates a draft. So let's see, a caucus race and a long tail. This is the scene. So what we're going to go do here is sync the story, and then we're going to go back and we're going to go view drafts, and you'll see this. We have a new draft sent, and this is the state of the scene right when the draft was sent. And so no matter what happens, if your friend suggests tons of changes and you accept to those changes and you don't like them, you can always go back to the previous draft right here. So we're going to fire up another browser, and here you go. This is what your friend would see. And so it explains a little bit what's going on. There's two scenes for you to review, whatever. So now your friend can read through your scene and they can say, oh, this isn't very good. You should make this say it was better or something. And they'll say, you know, because I like this text. So you hit save, and that gets saved as a suggestion. And then they could say, ooh, I really just don't like this entire paragraph, delete that. It's bad. Then they might like over here say, hey, that's good, but what did it mean? Something like that. You can click here and say, oh, you should have had the word best. I like that word. All right. And so they're reading through. There's a minor bug here with these escape characters, but that'll be fixed shortly. And then they can say, okay, I'm done with that scene. Then they move on to the next scene. Now, as the author over here, if we refresh this, you'll see It's in progress, means your friend has opened the link and you can see they've reviewed one of the scenes so far. You can always revoke access if something has happened and you don't want them to finish, but let's keep going. They really don't like this one, so they're gonna just say delete it. No, so bad. Just whatever. Hi. Scroll to the bottom, and then they're going to say, okay, I think I'm all done here. Submit revisions, submit and lock. So now they can't make any more revisions. And over here, you can see their revisions are submitted, and now I can go and review them. And so I can hover over any of it in line here. I can read the comment that they left on it, and I can accept or reject it. So that's a good one. Yep. And yeah, I like that. It just puts it right in line there. Okay, yes, I've read that. Sure. No, I don't want this. I'm going to reject that. And it just makes it go away. And you can do the same thing here. You can use these cards over here to accept or reject. You can click on them, it'll scroll. And then when you're all done, you say apply revisions. Are you sure? Yes. Now, as with everything in Hammer, none of this is destructive. So this will overwrite my scene, but if I come back here and let's go back, sync story again, go back here, this is updated with the contents after the review, but if I go to view drafts, I can still go back to this draft. So nothing is lost. And that's pretty much it. We have I think some pretty, it's maybe not the most advanced editing tool possible, but for people just getting started in their careers, in their journeys of writing, I think this could be a really useful tool. And I also added another thing that I think for people who are maybe a little further along in their journey, if you, oops, I didn't mean to do that. If you come back here and you go to export story, I added the docx format as an export option, and this is, from what I understand, the main format that if you're going to submit to a professional editor, this is the format people often choose. So I think Markdown is kind of just good for backing things up. EPUB is great for beta readers. You can give it to people they can install on their e-reader, they can read it on their phone, they can change font size, all that kind of stuff. PDF, I'm really not sure. I added it, people wanted it, but it takes a long time to export. You can't change the font size. It's not the best format. And docx is going to be an actual editable document. So again, it's good for submitting to editors. So yeah, those are some of the major changes in 3.3.0, and I'd be really interested to see how people use them and if they're working well. And also, if this, changelog update video format was useful, let me know, and maybe I'll keep doing it. So thanks again, and I hope everyone's not get writer's block and your stories are going well. Have a good one.